Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to the King of Dota League. I'm SP Revolution 5, going to be bringing you this game via Truesight TV. We've got Fire Gaming up against Team Suicide Room in a best of two, a two-game series, if you will. Ready to go, and have we got a surprise for you today. It looks like quite an exciting draft from Fire Gaming, as we will switch over to that right now. Tusk and Magnus is their opener, which is going to be pretty fun, to say the least, here. What am I gotta log off of Steam, that's what I forgot to do. My apologies. 10 seconds remaining. So we don't get those pesky little notifications in the way during the game, but... Tidehunter Treant Protector, though, as the counter, and we're actually seeing Medusa and Silencer... Wait, what am I watching? Medusa and Silencer banned here. And Treant first picked.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I question whether it's... They've just taken the meta and said, you know what, forget the meta. Or, if they're saying... You know what, these are targeted bans, and we're going to be really smart about this, and ban out heroes that we think Fire are actually going to pick. However, I don't have it one way or the other at the moment here, so we will see. One second. Okay.
10 seconds remaining.
Anyways, gonna be moving on into it. I mean, Fire with the Tusk, Snowball, and the Magnus. This basically means Magnus won't need his Blink Dagger very early on, although it'll definitely be something he looks to pick up, because they'll be able to load him into a Snowball and just fire him out at the enemy pretty much. Although, Tidehunter being able to pump the Ravage right when they all come in for the big team fight could be a big counter-initiation tool, very useful, especially if you can sit at the back of the fight and save the team. Treant Protector to follow that up. They're looking for some big AoE damage on top of this, and that's why Enigma gets banned out. Same with the Shadow Fiend. Wouldn't be too surprised to see a Spin, but hold the phone. Fire gonna pick up the Fat Man Pudge. Gonna be the next pickup here. And it's already a very exciting looking game. As Ogre Magi comes up for Team Suicide Room. Maybe both teams just decided, you know what? If we only pick melee heroes on both sides, it'll be very interesting or something. I don't know.
Ten seconds remaining.
It's a little interesting to say, at least.
Reserve time.
Pudge, definitely, though. A fun pick to watch. And the lanes at the moment are all up in the air. I actually have no idea what Fire are planning to do. Suicide Room probably going to run Tide off lane and a support duo of Trio Ogre Magi, although both of those heroes can be run as cores. We don't see Ogre Magi much anymore, but I feel like these days rushing the Ags on him is a little more beneficial than it was before, because you don't have that the added range on your initial stun. You have to get it with the Aghanim Scepter, so we will see. Warlock even banned out by Suicide Room, as well as the Phantom Lancer. The Phantom Lancer being the only ban that really makes sense here. Silencer does as well, if they're planning on running this kind of wombo combo strat that it looks like. But Mirana coming up for Fire right now. It's Team Skill Shot from them, with Pudge and Mirana both up. Tusk and Magnus to follow up. I mean, you could consider these all skill shots with the Ice Shards, the Skewer, but now Huskar coming out. Now, this is not my favorite pickup here. It'll be very good against the Pudge, for sure. but at the same time, Pudge's Hook is indeed pure damage. Tusk is physical damage with the punch. You've got a lot of burst to be able to bring Huskar down, and a good chunk of BKB piercing disable as well. With the Tusk, Walrus Punch that'll put you up in the air, the Magnus RP, and of course the Dismember from Pudge, that could be very big. They're actually going to ban out the Life Stealer, hoping to get rid of that free BKB. Fire may be in need of a... Okay. Okay. So that's where we're going with this. Let me just go ahead and get ready to make a screenshot of this one, because I can already tell it's going to be very interesting. You can do it window? Oh my gosh, that's great. Didn't realize you could do a window snip.
5 seconds remaining.
With the tool here, the snipping tool, if you will.
Reserve time.
As Team Suicide Room look to pick up their counter now, Huskar against Techies is not what you want to have. Sure, the remote mines are magical, but if you run into some landmines, you are going to get blown up. And, wow. They're just trying to come up with something here. I mean, they've got 3 melee heroes. That's already pretty bad. Oh, wait. Was somebody DC'd for... Oh, it's the admin that disconnected. Okay. It's going to be Juggernaut, though. This is a decent pick, but again, it's a hero that relies on BKB, and they have a lot of BKB piercing disable, which is going to be a pretty big problem. I mean, it's not actually BKB for Juggernaut, but of course the spin gives you something very much like a BKB. Let's go ahead and... this here. Okay, there we go. Looks like they just need a moment to get into the game. That'll give me a second to change over my overlay as well and get things on a roll here. You're watching Truesight TV. I'm SP Revolution 5, bringing you what looks to be a very interesting, very action-packed game. I mean, other than, well, even with the Mirana, you have basically all the initiation tools you could ever want for techies. And it should be pretty interesting. Not sure if I'm actually supposed to talk during the game like this, but Techies actually going with the Orb of Venom, 3 Clarities, and a Soul Ring recipe. Not going to TP down instantly to start out the fight, and actually not skilling Suicide first. Oddly enough, which is what I would expect with the Tusk on the team, because of that Snowball to Suicide combo. But, we will see about that. Sorry, just gonna reset my monitor here as we do get underway. Now, on the side of Suicide Room, it's gonna be Jairok por mi flaca on the Ogre Magi. We've got SR Kivo on the Huskar. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this guy. I guess I'll call him D4 version 098, but I'll just call him D4 from now on. We've got From Hell on the Treant Protector. And who am I missing here? Juggernaut, played by Emo. On the other side of the river, the team with all the fun here. It's Banksy on the Pudge, Agony on the Mirana, Painful Passion is going to be playing your techies, Heaven is going to be up on the Magnus, and we'll have Notice Me Senpai on the Tusk. I'm SP Revolution 5 once again. And this game is already looking to be quite exciting here. As Treant picks up a bounty rune, we're going to have Magnus pick up the other one, and I did not mean to type that at all. Sorry. I think it was a reflex. I was going to type good luck, have fun, but then realized it's not, you're not playing this game, Revo. Just hush. So, mid lane Huskar versus Magnus. I feel like Huskar should actually pull ahead in this lane pretty easily. The more points you get in this Berserker's Blood, the worse Magnus's Shockwave is going to be. Now, Magnus is probably going to max Skewer, actually, simply because Techies is on the team. Speaking of the Techies, he's down here with Tusk. He's kind of running the team secret off lane here against this triple melee lane. And, I mean, Techies is definitely not a hero known for his right-click damage, at least not his high right-click damage. But he'll be able to harass out these heroes quite well, especially with the Orb of Venom and the relatively slow speed of these heroes early on. They're going to be able to do a lot, and Tusk should be getting pretty decent farm here if they play it out intelligently. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, it looks like Pudge has come in. He's being played as a support this game and harassed out the Huskar with a hook, and it looks like it landed, judging by the amount of damage Huskar took. Sorry, I missed that one. Up top, it'll be Mirana in a farming position. Not something we see these days at all, pretty much, but could be very interesting. She does have a decent amount of setup for arrows, to an extent. The Punch Dismember is very nice. The Tusk, Snowball, as well as the Ice Shards give her a kind of semi-lockdown capability, but here we go. They're actually going to snowball on in here. There is a Techie Suicide, and they'll grab the first blood. Treant Protector taking him down. Meanwhile, Mirana actually killing off Tidehunter on the top lane. Very impressive of her to get that solo kill, because it looks, well, Pudge may have, no, he hasn't helped there. He's still got some mana for the hook. So, he's basically playing a roaming Pudge, going to try to secure this room for Magnus, and then move back toward the mid. Huskar does have to be careful of the Pudge because of that pure damage hook. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, it looks like Notice Me Senpai is going down here. The right clicks of the Ogre Magi will come out, and Painful Passion, his suicide's on cooldown, so he's not going to get away from this one quite as easily. Maybe being a bit too aggressive when they just blew their combo. He'll get one more mine off, but it's not enough to kill off Emo there, who will salve back up and get Treant armored as well. But all these heroes on the bot lane are very low, and it's going to have to be very careful. Meanwhile, in the mid, the action doesn't stop here, as SR Kivo is going to get dragged back by that hook and taken down very quickly. That'll get Pudge another little bit toward level 2. Magnus already sitting level 4, as he'll regen up with the bottle right now. I'm assuming, yep, he's picking up his boots right now. Wouldn't be too surprised if he bottle crowed here. But it's a pretty even trade. Now, keep in mind, one of these kills for Suicide Room is actually a Techie Suicide, so excuse me while I grab a quick snack here. Don't quite have time to eat dinner today, so I'm going to try to snack a little bit in between if I can.
Radiant's middle tower is taking a drubbing.
Tide actually... No, he doesn't want the South Shield. Just kidding. Here, and he's actually going to fall. Agony might be able to take him down. We'll land the arrow. One more right click will do the job.
With the fishes.
And Tidehunter will indeed be sleeping with the fishes there. As Notice Me Senpai is down here. Pudge and Techies in the trees. Not sure they've spotted out this Pudge rotation yet. They should have with this ward, but depending on the way he came into the lane, could go multiple ways. And actually, Pudge has found himself a way into the trees over here, where he's just waiting for a good opportunity to hook. Now, the range on this hook is low since it's only level 1. He's waiting for that level 2 hook. Meanwhile, Huskar are going to go down to Magnus here. They try to dodge it here. They're going to get a stun off from hell. They're taking a lot of damage. Notice Me Senpai dropping as well. He might actually end up going down here, but he's trying to bait them into the Pudge hook. But Banksy is just not throwing it just yet. Painful Passion in a little bit of trouble. They're pinging him down. Nice hook from Pudge, actually, onto From Hell. And a suicide from Techies will deny himself while taking down Treant Protector. Going to look for Emo now. If Banksy can get a little more damage off, he might be able to do it. There's a TP coming down from the Techies, as well as the Magnus here, who's going to throw out a Shockwave and secure the kill. Now Jyrok getting jumped on with his Skewer. He doesn't have an RP available. Just kidding, he does now. And Jyrok with no mana. I'm not even sure they need to commit the RP to this. As the Techies comes in with a slow, now Tusk respawning and snowballing himself in here. Jyrok should be going down. From Hell, he's got a Leech Seed to use. That'll heal him up a little bit. But Pudge looking for the hook. Banksy will deny himself. Suicide under the tower. Nicely done there. Seven to 7 by the death counter, at least, but Keep in mind, it's really more like 4 to 7. 3 of these kills for Suicide Room are suicides, actually, which is really awkward to say, since their name is Suicide Room, but Agony maybe gonna get jumped on. Doesn't look like it. This Titan's just trying to get his level 6, trying to survive his lane, mostly. Don't have any stacks up on the Ancients, unfortunately. And Pudge now, with that level 2 hook, will have a lot more range of stuff he can do. They actually are going to smoke up the supports right here, try to move either mid or up top. I would assume mid, because it's going to take them a while to walk all the way up top. So, are going to see Agony finishing up a Ring of Aquila and Phase Boots at 6 minutes in. Pretty great CS, as well as 3 kills here. Meanwhile, mid lane, it looks like there's a haste rune up on the Magnus. He'll be okay here. But, actually, Gyrock, he could land an RP here if he wants to, but he has no follow-up ready. And he's actually going to go for a Hand of Midas on Magnus, of all things. I mean, I talked about how I didn't exactly need the Blink Dagger. But I still think it's a good item to have. Definitely. Huskar now finishing up his treads. Make him a little more tanky. Give him a little more flexibility with his regen as well. He's just going to continue placing these mines here. Juggernaut, though, is alone up against 3 heroes. And Pudge looking for that hook as meanwhile mid lane. It looks like SRKeeper tries to take down Magnus. He will bring him down at least. But without help here on the bot lane, Juggernaut's going to have a bit of trouble. Now, Magnus has committed to this Hand of Midas already. He's going to be 200 or so gold away from it at the moment. Ogre Magi with some observers and sentries right now, just to de-ward and hopefully track down Mirana. They've got a few extra sentries to keep leash on this Techies and his mines in that case as well.
Top is missing.
Meanwhile, DD up on Huskar.
Radiant's middle tower is taking a
Which will let him do, well, something here, unless Mirana sniffs it out, which she will. She could try to arrow this, but I don't think it's necessary at the moment, as Huskar's really willing to dive for it. He actually goes for the 1 point at level 7 in that heal. At least that's when I believe he's got it. It's actually a hook comes out on the bottom lane from hell. Gonna get hooked back into some mines, but the Ravage coming in from Tidehunter. The Leech Seed out on Techies. Notice me, Senpai, gonna fall to the tower, and Banksy on the run here. Hand of Midas now up on the Magnus, but that's a great use of that first Ravage just to show the counter initiation potential here from Suicide Room.
Top is missing.
Up top there is going to be a leap in from Huskar and a leap out from the Mirana. Nice arrow in though. Isn't enough damage? It looks like it is, but she'll be falling as well. She tries to salve up. That doesn't last long as she falls to the Huskar, who gets actually 700 gold from that kill. What's he going to commit that towards? Looks like an armlet coming up very early for him. Although not the earliest we've seen by far. Would like to see quite a bit more farm up on the Huskar at this point, as he is a hero who's meant to be very far ahead very early on. And really snowball off of that. Now, Pudge looking for the hook. Not quite going to find it, though. Doesn't have the room, and hook is just level 2 at the moment here. Do have quite a few mines laid down from the Techies. In a very strategic location that there may be a sentry ward right beside them, but they're not going to be easily taken down because of their positioning behind the trees. In fact, yep, Radiant Vision, they can't get over here to see them, and they're assuming there's no mines over here. So notice me, Senpai, he's going to bait Emo in there, but it just drags Tree away from the rest of his team. And now Emo going to be in a bit of trouble. Snowball coming out on the Huskar who's moved in here. And Juggernaut, going to come out. Techie's not going to get away from this one. The Juggernaut will probably run right into these mines. One gets blown. One more tower hit isn't enough to bring him down. He's going to be up on 9 HP as the heal comes out from Huskar. Now, Mirana moving in here does get stunned up briefly. And they're going to try to bring him down. He will burn down to the tower, but Mirana going to fall as well. Banksy with 4 charges of the Burning Spears on him will die. But now Magnus coming in with a double kill as he takes down the Ogre Magi and the Juggernaut in this fight. Tranquil's up for your Techies, who is also already back in the game. And this game is becoming very action-packed very quickly, as it's 15 to 14, 10 minutes in here. Now keep in mind, once again, quite a few of these deaths from the Dire have been suicides. And actually, Pudge and Tusk haven't gotten any kills, but 5 kills apiece going to Agony and Heaven, with Techies sitting right behind at 4 kills. He's going to start setting up those remote mines, which are going to do a lot more damage to most heroes. Pretty much everyone but the Huskar, but it's still a good bit of burst to have in a fight, if you can. However, he has been spotted here, as the Radiant will know he's got some mines around here. They're not going to fall for this trap, unfortunately, since he's been spotted by the Observer. And there, meanwhile, Mirana does take down the Juggernaut with help from her friends up top. And Tusk, what is he going to be building here? I'd really like to see Medallion, mainly because Techie's damage is physical, so Medallion armor reduction, it will affect it. It doesn't seem like the brightest idea, I know, but it still works. And against Juggernaut, he cannot purge off Solar Crest or Medallion, I believe. I want to say Medallion works the same way.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know, though. As we do see an RP coming out, there's a hook in on the tree. He'll pop the ult, though, and prevent Magnus from getting away. Nice Ravage out from the Tidehunter. Hits on 3, but Agony coming in here to try to clean house. Going to throw out a big Starstorm. Blinking away now. Agony taking 2 Burning Spears, though. And now notice me, Senpai. He's been noticed by Huskar. But Tide actually dragged back into the Pudge here. And Huskar able to bring down 2, but actually making it away with his life. Nice armlet toggles there, keeping him alive, and he's probably going straight for either BKB or Deso. I mean, Deso's an option, I guess. I don't think it's a great option, but it can do the job. As he will armlet toggle up. Thanks for that hook, Pudge. You just got me in range to do some stuff. And he just doesn't stop. With the tree armor, this guy really hits like a truck early on. And you just can't kill him that easily. With this tree buffing him up, so... SR Kivo really rolling all over Team Fire. And I mean, if you play with fire, you're going to get burnt. That's what we're learning here, for sure. They do know those mines are there. They're pinging them out right now. It's actually, Pudge or somebody is going to try to grab him. Now they know there's got to be a ward over here. That dodge on the arrow was just too simple. Well, technically they can't see what I can because as your dire vision, but they did know he's over there, of course. Pudge picking up some more wards. Does have his Tranquil Boots at least. We're going to see a hook in on SR Kivo under the tower, hit with an arrow as well. But here comes Treant and Ogre. They're going to stun up Pudge. One more right click will bring him down from the Mirana. Huskar able to trade with the Pudge at least. But nice RP from Heaven here. He's going to get 2 of them off. Mirana gets the Empower buff. Juggernaut spin coming out. Here's the snowball from Tusk. And they're going to bring down the Ogre Magi. From Hell, going to get punched up into the air. And he's not going down right now. As in, to Hell. Not going back where he came from, but he is going to be in the ground at least. As Juggernaut does get away, Mirana getting away on a sliver of HP. Bottling herself back up. Already sitting on a Yasha here. And probably going to make that a Sanj and Yasha, I would assume. I want to say unless you Manta dodge the actual impact of Huskar's leap, it won't disjoint it. So you would have to basically activate the mana exactly when he hits your hero, and that's going to be very tough to do. Also, it won't dispel the Burning Spears, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, hook in on Ogre Magi as he gets grabbed here by the Pudge. 200 HP and dropping. He will get a stun off. Tree Armor keeps him alive for a second, but the damage over time from Pudge is able to help bring him down. Nice ult out from the Jug, but unfortunately Pudge gets right back into position to save his buddy here, the techies, if you will. Juggernaut gonna have his Mask of Madness done now. I really would have liked to have him already have that ready to go beforehand, as Banksy is gonna smoke up here. He's just waiting, but actually they will reveal him as Juggernaut inches closer. Oh, the hook is just off the mark, and that would have been almost a surefire kill, at least on the Juggernaut. Huskar, not so much. You're kind of pulling him into position, but he is going for that BKB now, which will mean he's harder to lock down, but not too hard to lock down. I talked about how the BKB piercing lockdown from Fire is going to make that a real problem for him, so. Meanwhile, neither team really pushing that hard. I mean, they take the bot tower, but with techies, that's going to be relatively easy. I'd actually say the best pushing potential either team has is really the techies. But, of course, with Treant there as well. Oh. Maneuver from Huskar will pop those mines. Nice hook in from the Pudge. There's no ult from the Jug, but there is a spin. And that'll help him out, indeed. And we'll try to stay alive right now. Pudge looking for it. Not quite finding it, though. Meanwhile, Mask of Madness up on the Magnus right now. Marana ult did come out, but they're not really finding the opening here. Looking for it with Pudge, though. Won't get the hook, as he is still, I believe, just... No, he's got max hook now. My apologies.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Here, Radiant's been fortified. No, mate, don't waste your time.
We'll see a arrow come on out now, though. Connecting briefly.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Top tower going down as well. Courier is going to be bringing out a Soul Ring to Pudge, which will help him with his mana regen and his health regen a bit as well. Oh, sorry about that. Ward Vision not looking great for the Radiant. In fact, you generally don't want to place quite defensive wards like they have here up against this team. You want to place more aggressive wards so you can see where they're getting into position for these skill shots and hooks. Well, skill shots and other things, of course. Smoke will come out from the Dire. I don't believe he's been spotted with this, as he's just planting himself right there on those mines. Suicide Room, though, are a little afraid to move around the map extremely because, I mean, they don't want to run into a pack of techies mines with just one hero and get picked off one by one and then have to take a team fight short-handed. Pudge looking for the hook still. It's just sitting here with the smoke. And I believe they know he's here. I mean, they have to at this point. Manta Style is up on Marana. She's not going to end up going for Sanjinasha. So I'm assuming this is to dodge something. I don't really see Manta working out that well for them. But it could add to their push, I guess. And they don't really want to chase in the team fights with the lineup they have. So Sanjinasha maybe not your best idea here. Hook out on the Jug. They'll actually blow him right into some techies mines. Nice spin from him, though, since Banksy couldn't quite do that. There'll be an ult out from the Tidehunter. They throw down the sentry, but now RP coming through and grabbing 2. However, SRKevo in a little bit of a pickle as he does bring down 2. But Suicide on the back line will actually bring down the Juggernaut instead. And SRKevo is going to drop low. Has he got those armlet toggles? No, he doesn't. That was a 10-second BKB charge, though. They lose 4 heroes. I believe it might have even... It was a Techie's Suicide, not a kill on Techie's, as From Hell is going to invis here. He's seeing up a bit, but they'll still be able to farm up here. He's the only survivor from this fight, and he is indeed just a tree. So what is he really going to do? But lumber about. I know, so funny. Thank you, I'll be here all night. And Midas still being used by this Magnus, of course, as Pudge will run into 2 heroes here. And buddy, I think you're dead. If it was just 1 hero, he has a good shot at killing him. But with 2, it's going to be a bit of trouble. However, here comes the Tusk and the Techies moving into position here. Nice Force Staff away on the Pudge. Big plays coming out from Techies. He'll try to deny himself, I would assume. Won't quite get it, though. Arrow, though, connecting on the Tidehunter, and it's going to take a lot of physical damage to purge this one off, but they'll use it just to set up a Techie's Mind to burst him down quickly, as Mirana ends up taking him down. However, that's just a 1-for-1 trade in the end. They may lose a fat guy in the process, but they do take down the enemy team's offlaner. However, they're not really going to be able to push out this. There's actually a Guardian Greaves up on the Husk, or the Tusk, sorry. My apologies. But there's a gem coming up for the tree here. And although he may not be able to get a very early Aghanim Scepter, the gem is going to be invaluable to, help them survive against these wards. There's actually quite an array of Techie's Minds here. The problem is they've pushed out so far that the enemy team doesn't want to approach their high ground. They don't want to come into this area, which is exactly where Fire wants them to be, so they can land this combo. I mean, the tactics are good, don't get me wrong, but maybe not the best in the situation. There's a Deso coming up from Mirana, it looks like. So they are going to have the gem up on Huskar. Arrow coming through, though, it will connect! However, there's no follow-up, so... denying the Techie's Mind. First of all, didn't know you could do that. Second of all, why? As Ogre Magi does get a decent multicast off here. 1 point up in his Bloodlust. I really need to see him hit level 11 soon to make a bigger impact on this game. I mean, he's lowest net worth. He's not going to have that Ags anytime soon. You might as well have your spells really packing a punch with multicast. If you can. Juggernaut, meanwhile, will have Sanjanashi done in just about one last hit. Well, he missed that one. No pressure, though. It's just a competitive game.
Fire's bottom tower is under attack.
As an arrow comes out, it isn't going to connect on that one. Sorry about the camera there. A little quick, maybe. As meanwhile, actually Jug spinning around there. We are going to have Ogre Magi going down over here, actually. As the snowball gets loaded up from Tusk. They're going to snowball forward. They do miss the hook, though. Unfortunately, Techies in a bit of trouble, but a 5-man Ravage coming out, followed up by the Tree and ult. They will get an RP off to try and turn the fight around, though. Pudge getting his ult off on somebody over there. But the gym is on the ground. The gym is on the ground, and it is in trouble. And if they lose this, the game is going to go downhill very fast. But they're losing everyone. And now Tide on the run here. They will dust just to see if he possibly went invis. But not going to be the case here, as he will make it out. But however, the gym over on... Who has it, actually? Tusk. Now, and he's fairly tanky. He's actually going to be able to run around with this one. And just when Suicide Room are beginning to really take control of this game, a fight really just puts a nail in the coffin. Now, of course, the coffin isn't shut, but there's a nail in it. Still need to hammer it a couple times to get it in there, make sure it's good and nailed. If you know what I mean. Agony gonna pick up the Deso now. We'll actually see Ogre picking up the bounty rune at the same time. Agony gonna leap forward though, and looking for Jyrok there.
Invisibility.
Tusk with the invis rune, moving around a bit. Well, we will see him actually get ulted by Jug, but thanks to Pudge being here and those Guardian Greaves, he might make it out. He'll actually fall, and that means Jim is on the deck once again. Somebody pick it up. Tree's got it, looks like. So they have reclaimed that, but they're going to not land the hook. Oh my goodness. And it would have been so good too, especially if they landed it on Tree and reclaimed that Jim instantly. However, I think at this point they've made it fairly obvious where they have mines. I mean, well, Arrow going to come out, not going to connect them. From Hell Invis. Techies is setting up for another spot here. It's a very dangerous area of the map right here around the mid lane because there's now not one but two hook locations where they're looking for an opening. And actually, uphill mines here will hit Oscar. It's not going to do too much though. They will deward. Whoa, was that just... Was that thunder? Good lord. That was loud. Actually, they're going to try to bait him in here. Oh, Magnus with the skewer. He's actually going to push them all into the mines. It's a triple kill for Techies. Maybe that wasn't thunder, but I think it was the sound of those Techies mines exploding. That is a huge, huge play. Oh my goodness. They even blow the Ravage and get no one for it. They'll reclaim the gym. And I mean, they were looking for hooks all the time, but... It's not going to be the case in the end there.
Radiant's middle tower is taking a drubbing. Radiant forts have been fortified.
So meanwhile, they will use the Deso to take this tower. The Deso is going to help them push a lot better than they were able to beforehand. But
Have hit will show.
meanwhile, they do land an arrow on Roche. They're going to go after it now. DD rune up onto your Mirana there. Magnus actually with a crit already. One of my personal favorite builds on Magnus, especially when you don't have that hard of a core. Magnus can really turn into one with his free Empower buff. Well, not free, but mana cost and power buff that comes with levels, etc. And, yeah. Meanwhile, down on the bot lane, it looks like Mirana Illusion's going to come after the Juggernaut. Mirana herself hiding in the trees. Hook going to miss from the Pudge, but they will at least get some vision on the real Juggernaut for Mirana to help out there. Unfortunately, though, she's stuck in the trees for about 7 more seconds. Can they land the arrow? They are going to miss it, unfortunately. There's no punch available. They can't lock him down in time. And that does mean that Tree will live to fight another day, as he's going for the Guardian Greaves on his team. Tusk now with the Blink Dagger up as well. Still surprised we're not seeing Solar Crest. I mean, it's a very good item in general on any hero, period. And on Tusk, it's amazing. Tusk gonna blink in, punch him up, and actually go in on the Treant there, as the gym is on the Pudge. I'm surprised they're carrying this around at all. I would have said it in the base a long time ago. I mean, sure, it's great to catch out Tree when he's trying to sneak around Invis, but wouldn't you rather not risk losing it? Arrow gonna come out, it's not gonna hit. There's no hope of that one. Because they're just waiting here, and I mean, Suicide Room are not gonna fall, just kidding. Kamo is going to fall for it here, just blink right in and get bursted down by those Mirana light clicks. With the armor reduction, I mean, that takes away a vast majority of Huskar's armor. Ravage comes out, but it absolutely whiffs as RP comes back through. Techie's Suicide. Pudge does go down, but they already bring down the Ogre on the back end of the fight as well. Pudge going to buy back into the game and head back home as the gym is on the deck, but nobody's picking it up. They can't quite find it yet. Emo getting run down by the rest of the team. Heaven going after D4 there. Looks like Emo's gonna be on the run. Will he walk into this arrow? No, he's smarter than the average bear, it looks like, but he's able to dodge the hook, running away from the snowball, one punch, and he's done. He's noticed me, Senpai. Well, he's definitely been noticed. And the courier, oh my god, they tried to go get it with the gem. It's a valiant effort, but not their brightest move so far, as Fire, I think we could say, are on fire. Cricket. Anyways, Ace getting reclaimed in 2 minutes. Not that they're in much danger of losing it with this Mirana. Nice punch into hook combo here on Ogre Magi, who gets one spell off, but that's going to be it. They don't have a Ravage available despite their attempts at getting Refresher. Banksy just going to turn around and lock down here, as actually Magnus coming through doesn't even need the RP to group them up here and start tearing them apart. It's a 5-man wipe, and Juggernaut wasn't even able to make it to the party. Tier 3 tower goes down, excuse me. And Mirana's Zesso even making techies scratch these towers a little harder. As Emo gonna get hooked from long range. They don't have a Pudge ult, but I think they've got him locked down here. As they'll grab it right now, punch up into the air, and they'll just bring him down. Even a suicide from Techie's committed there. And here comes Ogre. He's going to be back up in a second. I would hide in the farthest corner of the base you can find, but he's not afraid. Just kidding. He totally is. He's going to walk the other way now. And, I mean, they're just waiting for 5 people here, but Tide still doesn't have Ravage for 15 seconds. They've got 4, but they've just lost most of their racks. And, they don't have a Tide ult ready. They can't engage at the point where they most need to, probably. And now, Tree gonna get punched, and he's already on low health. He's gonna get hooked back in there. Nice movement from him, but keep in mind, Pudge has this gym. They'll get an a Ravage off on 1, but an RP on 3 will turn the fight around. Nice counter ult from Tree there, staying in the back lines. Punch out from Tusk. He's dropping, though. Hook in onto the Huskar, and Fire Agony taking him on down. It's just pure ownage at this point. Tusk living on barely any HP at all, but he'll be alright. There's a double kill for the Tusk. They're going to take down one more. Tidehunter's on the bot lane, but he's like, guys, what do we do now? Nothing. Nothing. They're going to call GG. We'll be going over to game number 2 very shortly here, folks, as game number 1 was quite the interesting game here. A lineup built around techies. It's not normal, but it definitely was entertaining. As Fire will take game number 1 here. I'm SP Revolution 5 for Truesight TV. thanks for watching. You can find Truesight TV at Truesight TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Of course, you can find myself at SBRevolution5 on Twitch and Twitter, SBRevolution5Dota on Facebook, if you'd like to keep up with my goings-on. We're going to take a short break. Enjoy the music while you wait, guys, and we will be right back.